Welcome to Fort Fritz, your one-stop for news, current events, and all forms of entertainment relating to the paranormal, the supernatural, the Fortean, and things that go bump in the night, all packaged and presented in the form of know-nothing know-it-alls, entertaining the unknown. Hello, I'm your host, Fritz, and on behalf of co-host Mandaddy, Kaz, and Angela, for the next hour, we will play our songs we wrote for our Season 2 premiere, the musical Escape from Snake Island, and also our not-so-finer moments, all of our outtakes. Because, this is the good news, we will be back together next week, broadcasting from the Fort Fritz compound. So let's relive our musical and all of the times we messed up pretty badly, but memorably. Some things don't fly, like not stretching before a marathon, and chain-smoking cigarettes during the marathon, and not drinking enough water after the marathon. Here are some jokes that don't. Enjoy outtakes from Home Box Offenses.
Yeah, but you ever watch like a marathon of Snapped?
Great,
You'll
the
see
hippies
some people.
Snap.
Snapped is a great show.
It's all about women killing people.
Really?
Yeah,
It's son of a bitch.
fantastic.
Women shouldn't watch that show.
Oh,
It's
you watch it with like another woman, like your sister, that you never get along with until you watch
just, like,
Snap together, and you're like, "Yep,
They're looking over at each other,
yep."
silently
I
just
do the
nodding
same
at each
thing.
other.
And you'd be like, "Would you? Would you
Yes.
help me?
Is
Like
it a
I'd
show?
help you."
Yeah, you know.
Or is it like an instruction manual?
This-
I mean,
A little bit of both, I guess.
God.
I feel like Mrs. Mandaddy is probably a
Do
fan.
not let Lady Daddy know about this.
A lady daddy.
Lady Daddy.
She's a fan waiting to happen.
She took my last name. she took my last name.
Lady daddy.
Now that's a disturbing drag name right there.
Lady daddy.
You know
Kind
what?
of like
you
it.
know what you're getting though.
Yeah, you do. Thank you.
No surprises with Lady Daddy. None whatsoever.
So that would be Binoir?
Binoir?
You know that's someone's like Twitter handle.
Or is it, would that be Southern Gothic?
Gumbo noir.
Gumbo
Noir. God, that's so
Perfect.
good. Gumbo Gothic.
sounds
is
delicious.
perfect.
Gumbo gothic's even better. I like that.
Gumbo Goth.
Gumbo God.
That's my stage name.
Gumbo Goth.
It's like a really depressing Zydeco song. It's like,
Ooh,
oh.
Goth Zydeco? Can
Gothic
you want to start a
Zydeco, man.
band?
That's-
I'm
Boom.
down. That's
Does
really
she wrestle
cool
an
idea.
alligator?
Yeah, that's just
Gumbo
screaming
Goth.
happening.
Savannah drops out of the ceiling.
Hey, y'all. I'm loud. You're going to have to turn my mic down. It's like, no mic is on in the studio. How are you?
You're not even in the studio yet. You just pulled into the parking lot.
You've already subdued the gator. He's done.
Shout out to Savannah.
I love her to death.
She's awesome.
I don't know
so
who that is.
great.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, I love her.
I've been listening to her since I was a youngin', and I can fondly remember her debuting Hot Dog Soup. You've got a love like hot dog soup. And I was like a little kid. I was like, that's a good melody.
I've been in the elevator with her with an animal more times than I've been with her in an elevator just herself.
Yeah.
She always has like an alligator or like some kind of cat or
She totally transitioned
snake.
into a reptile lady. It's awesome.
yeah.
She's found her
Every time
calling.
I see her, she just run around with some animals in her hands, like around. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you up to?
And so there has to be some sort of connection.
Like
I don't know.
violent criminal records.
Maybe some violent, some not as violent. You know, there's a few jaywalking offenses. There's
Oh,
a few
come on.
multiple stab wounds.
Ooh,
you know, it's
That's
runs
a
the gamut.
range. That's a
it's
range.
It's a range.
There's a
It's range.
spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
Okay.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's the Ric Flair of flowers.
Woo!
So,
I want to start a band called Ric Flair's Weird Because they are. They're there. You have to look
Is
at
he
them a
still-
lot, and they're always there.
Ric Flair's
Oh, wow.
dead, though, isn't he?
No,
That's
he's-
kinda not-
No,
Oh, okay.
he's
well,
still profiling.
Okay, is that really
limousine
that
drive.
people always talk about his weird? Is
Yes.
that a thing?
it's-
Have you seen
no.
Ric Flair's
If
wheelchair?
He's got old man.
Googled Ric Flair, like would weird be like third?
It'd be up there. It'd be
Okay.
up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be like Ric Flair net worth, Ric Flair's wife, and
their
then
woo.
and then Ric Flair's weird. Is
Ric Flair net worth would be number one.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a
he's just
perfect
got
joke.
your grandpa's. You know what? Tell your grandpa to pop his shirt off and tell me they're any weirder than Ric Flair's because that's what they look like.
Yeah.
He's the nature boy, but he's a grown ass man
Mhm.
Yeah.
with old man.
Yeah,
And
but they've
also-
always been that way. They've been that way since like the 70s.
No, he had
Yes,
like a
they-
muscular.
No,
like,
he was muscular with weird.
No, he had muscular back in the day.
Yeah,
Big manly.
he was in really good shape up until the 90s.
He was the nature boy.
Yeah, but he had
He
been
is
wrestling
the
since
nature
the
boy.
late 70s. Yeah.
I like Ric Flair because he
I
was
do
just completely nonsensical. There was no reason why Ric Flair should be like a good wrestler. He was an old man in the 70s. He was weird and coked out.
None of it makes sense.
But he was good.
He
fell down on his own. Like he would just walk around and fall down. Like he was very like Jim Carrey.
I will say this. His
I'm looking
promos are among the best.
Oh yeah.
And
well, when they let them do coke and like acid and before they like started talking to Mean Gene, it was like
Not a bad
definitely like
idea.
it was cool. Like yeah, it was.
I typed in Ric Flair weird TI and it went titles.
See,
Oh, well, there's probably a lot of that, but no huh?
Not yet.
interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
See?
Interesting
go,
what we
count it.
focus on, man, Daddy.
Yeah.
When we're left to our own
People
devices.
want to
And
know.
you think the rest of the world thinks like you.
Just staring at this, not watching an entire WrestleMania. He's like, damn, they're so weird. The left one is weirder than the right one. I don't know why. He's got Tulsis. Those are weird.
let the record reflect. Mandaddy just showed Kaz Ric Flair's weird old man. So go ahead and show Angela.
No, I mean,
From Man Boob Mania.
okay. First of all,
it went, okay, there we go.
Man Boob
I'm
Mania
sorry.
is a real thing.
They're like lungs.
Oh my god. Oh, I feel uncomfortable.
I
He
feel
has
happy.
like lungs on the outside
I
of his
feel
body.
like that
I
photo,
feel happy.
that was photoshopped, right? Like those aren't. Come on, they're not that weird.
Were you looking at Iggy Pop?
We'll revisit this later.
Were you looking at Iggy Pop?
Oh, Iggy Pop's got some weird dude.
So
We
think
can
of
talk.
Iggy Pop. So for our listeners who don't care about Ric Flair, just
Think
think of
about
Iggy
Iggy
Pop.
Pop.
You care about
It's the same
about
sort of
Iggy
thing.
Pop.
Yeah, they got the same.
There-
vibe.
Yeah. God,
All
my
right.
face hurts.
Let's go back into it.
Okay, so Ric Flair's
Think
weird.
I'm really freaking out. The poison seeping down into my spine. They left us here to die. Just me, you, Kaz, and Spry. Revenge is our prize. Hand me another flauta. Hand me another flauta. Outdoor me to a place where we can plan campaigns for our designs. Their f***ing heads will roll, I swear upon my soul, when I get mine. Hand me another flauta. Hand me another flauta. And if we never make it out of this place, I might never say, hey guys, again. And I don't know what to do about Angela, because she's a revenant and can never die. I don't understand it. What's this? What's this? Transforming. I'm sort of becoming
attention.
Please don't let me die here. I would really hate that. My wound is starting to smell, and I hope my friends come back. And I never tell them that.
You are listening to Fort Fritz on Real Radio 104.1.
Fort Fritz on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz here on Real Radio 104.1, as you heard Dan Stone say just then. Thank you, Dan Stone. We are kicking back coverage of our musicals songs from the season 2 premiere, episode 30-something, episode 31, I believe. Escape from Snake Island, part 2. That's all really you need to search on iHeartRadio. Escape from Snake Island, part 2. He's running away from his fears. And yet, maybe he's not. If only I had a song.
Angela guided us to the island most treacherous. Though I could not say what we'd look for. The late Kaz and Nick's Bry surely died, I'd surmise, only to figure out the truth was not what we hoped for. Now Nick's Bry is a snake man, and Kaz is halfway insane. If we can find him and stop this bedlam, our friendship might remain the same. Mounting hostility, build him and daddy. Though I can't say it's unfounded, really. Just to see Kaz being so f***ing military, building weaponry by hand leaves me astounded. Now Nick's Bry is a snake man, and Kaz is halfway insane. If we can find him and stop this bedlam, our friendship might remain the same. Yeah, no, and we will have such a good old time doing all the things that we always wanna do, like fishing and hugging and singing and loving, all the loving and wishing for the wishes, and sonin and dishing when you got the dishes, and then you got coming to and a plump.
Fritz, what the hell? That was terrible.
God, that was horrible.
Hold on, I was getting warmed up.
All right, you warmed up.
Well, sure.
Cool down and cool down. From now on, just cool down. Warming up
Like-
did not work.
Go to Antarctica. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I was just trying to take my art form to wild and dangerous places.
Art
Well,
form?
I'm sorry that nobody helped me with my songwriting for this musical.
There was no helping that. There was none.
Nobody's sad about that.
But no one answered my emails and my texts.
We've been on a snake island for
Personally,
days.
I blocked you for all of those things.
Nice.
Huh?
Okay. All right. And if we could like stop on the way and maybe get like an antidote or something in the hospital or something.
Stop thinking about yourself.
No.
Please don't let me die here. That would really suck. Kaz has all the weed, so I guess I'm really f***ed. 'Cause I'm so not drunk enough.
And of course, here are some flubs.
Some things don't fly, like playing rest stop roulette with an unnamed yet delicious Mexican-American fast food establishment while stuck in traffic on the Florida Turnpike. Here are some jokes that don't. Enjoy outtakes from Spaced by the Bell. Jaunty 90s school sitcom theme, laser noises. Always, maybe that's where we got the lasers from.
This is
Finally got your
your
Thank
test.
you. Classroom bells
Here's your
ringing.
lasers.
Yeah, we can cuss again.
Yeah, awesome.
Yay!
Yay!
Groaning, slithering, sloshy, alien noises.
And
What is the problem with Velcro shoes? Why do you ever get so mad about Velcro shoes? They're
It's
easy.
dorky.
No, they're easy. You're like, they're done.
It's
Boom. What's wrong with
dorky.
that? It's
I
called
feel like
efficiency.
they're very efficient.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
What's
you.
wrong with that?
It's artistic.
What is wrong with that?
Velcro was invented by NASA. It's amazing.
Once
Right.
your grandpa stops using it, then you're allowed to use it. If your grandpa's like a very firm proponent of like a type of footwear, then it's probably not cool. It's not. I'm not saying it's
need to be
not
cool.
useful or efficient. I'm just saying it's not cool.
Oh,
Well,
so
I mean,
you're
it's
the
not
arbiter of
cool.
cool now.
Yeah, so you know
Okay.
what cool is?
Like
Alien high school? And high school's pretty cool.
I'm cool in high school.
Were you?
No, God. No.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't. You can't even.
I mean,
pull
I
that
was
one
cool.
off.
I was cool enough.
Wow.
I was cooler than you were.
I'll be completely honest. I thought you were talking about the musicians, and I was like, never enough.
Kind of both. A little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think 5 bangles in the musician category is enough. I don't think
Yeah.
they should have like a Slipknot sort of bangle 9
Oh, I would
member
love
bangle.
to see
That would be
slip
so
get
good.
angle.
Slip bangle.
Slip bangle.
Slip angle.
Sounds raunchy.
Well,
To this day, well, is she? When did she die? Did she die already?
Yeah, she's dead.
Didn't say when she died.
She doesn't remember either.
Yeah.
What did he do?
well, you've never heard of Rasputin, the Mad Monk? Because I was way into him when I heard I had to do this story at 4:00 in the afternoon.
You heard that?
I know. I had the grid. It's my fault. I had
it
the
wasn't
grid.
even on the grid. I texted you personally and told you.
Oh.
Wait.
Would you like to go over the timeline for this?
He
I
even,
wanna see.
he even
On
forwarded it-
record?
He even forwarded this text to Angela and myself.
Would
so.
you? No.
Where is it?
He sent you a private text, and then he told us privately that he sent you something privately.
Saturday, 8:55 p.m. Your story for Tuesday is Ellipse: The Trials and Tribulations of Brendan Fraser, or Grigory Rasputin, whichever you think will fit the theme of the show more. Ha 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 ha.
Sounds like me.
I'm forever just hearing ha
But I'm-
ha ha ha. Whenever
That's what I hear when you guys type that out. First of all,
ha ha ha.
That's so funny. It's totally disappeared from my timeline.
Because
How convenient.
I always see it and I go,
I know. I'm usually laughing like a madman when I write that out.
ha 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 ha.
I am too. So
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Or
That
we-
we're all
It's
in this-
real.
That's actually really adorable that we all like admit that. It's
Dude,
like, oh,
I'm looking at the timeline. I just saw Jeff's going, ha 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 ha. There's Angela, ha 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 ha.
This is me and you.
Jeff again, blah, ha 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 ha. It's just constantly
and then
slapping
main
each
dad is
other.
ha.
Yeah, it's just an HAH. Or the he is the worst. The HEH is like, yeah, it's just like, you like, f off.
That's
Yeah.
so
that's
funny.
Don't even answer.
Don't Henny.
Yeah, don't even say anything.
And HEH, I've never done an HEH, but to me that's a. Like, it's like a-
Right, that's like a f off.
No, I want
Yeah, I don't.
guffaws or nothing.
Yeah, just give me an all caps LOL.
I
Don't
did get a harump out of that guy.
lower cap it.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway, Rasputin.
Motherfucker.
So cyanide, when you get poisoned, is that the drug that kind of makes your fingernails blue, or is that strychnine? Because I think one of them does that.
Psilocybin.
Is it psilocybin?
That makes everything kind of blue.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not too
I
sure.
think that might be strychnine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. We have to call in the scientist for that one.
I don't have his number.
What's the meatloaf one? That you can get from meatloaf.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Strychnine?
Point.
Ebola. Not Ebola. E. coli.
Here are some segments edited from broadcast.
And then another thing I listened to all of yesterday, I listened to it in one day, was a podcast called Dr. Death.
Explain.
And I believe this was pretty recent. There was this guy in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. His name was Christopher Dunch. And he went through medical school. He became a surgeon. He had somewhat glowing remarks from people. I feel like he's one of those people who was so mediocre that he kind of just flew under the radar for a long time. And he got hired, and he probably was very charming, and some people just kind of didn't think about it. He kind of just became a surgeon just because he was one of those high achiever people.
As you do.
Didn't really care about, which scares me about the medical field these days, because I feel like being a doctor used to be a calling, and now people are like, well, my dad did it. Well, it makes a lot of money.
Preach, baby.
Well, I'm like an egomaniac, and I kind of just want to...
God complex
type of thing. And that's terrifying.
Totally.
Thinking you're putting your life in these people's hands. Well,
that woman that missionary that just was going to Africa, and she had no medical experience whatsoever, and she went out there and she's like, I'm a doctor. I just told him, and like has killed like over 100 people.
That's
oh my God.
terrible.
Yeah, she's just over there like, but I'm helping.
People have that, and it's scary.
Yeah.
And this guy kind of had that, there was all this backstory as all these podcasts do of like, he was a football player and he wasn't that great, but he worked really hard and then he became really great. So that was in his head thinking like, hey, if I just work really hard, not realizing like you can't practice on people's lives. And he did.
Damn.
And he would just completely botch all these surgeries, and people were like raising their hands like, this guy's a problem, but because the health industry is so political and weird with money that they're like, nah, he hasn't messed up that much. And then like the system in Dallas totally failed people. Like 30 something people died. Oh, and this guy would just go into surgeries and just completely just do something super random. They go in for one thing, and then he would like make them paralyzed. What they weren't paralyzed when they went in that surgery.
And this podcast was called
It's called Dr. Death, and I believe the production company that produces it is Wondery, like Wonder with a Y at the end. 6 episodes. I listened to it all in one work day as I'm just kind of doing stuff, and it was really good, really scary in terms of how that can happen. But the stories, I feel like you're listening to it to kind of hear what happened to the people who get affected. And also just the scariness of the people who kind of turned a blind eye to this guy. And we're just like, no, he's good. He's good. And then everyone kind of screaming, the guy's not great. And everyone's going, well, we got to go through all the processes. And like, people are going to die if you don't do this now.
Listen, surgery's really hard.
Yeah, surgery, sometimes things just don't work out.
I don't know. There's blood in there.
There's blood.
It's icky.
Sponges and rags. Everything's fine. It was really fascinating. Dr. Death.
Dr. Death.
One day, I'm driving down a dusty highway, and a buffalo told me to give my jewelry a funeral in the desert.
He can't resist. He cannot resist.
And when he brought it up, it was unironic. I'm looking at his eyes, and definitely the pupils of his eyes, he had no idea. And I say Johnny Depp, and they get really big, like a hit from a magic drug.
All of a sudden, all these bangles and belts appear on me, and all scarves out of nowhere.
In every past episode of Fort Fritz, on any kind of platform, but especially iHeartRadio, you just hear him go, "My name's Johnny Depp."
And they've been playing this Savage commercial a lot more, so it's becoming even more relevant. I've seen it on TV a lot lately.
And every time I read his name, I just hear your voice in my head. Yeah.
It's not even his voice anymore. It's just Man Daddy's voice doing Johnny Depp.
I actually heard that today. It was the biggest movie flops. Each one ended with, and coming up, a sword and sandal movie that flopped in the 50s. And then maybe 17 clicks in, it just goes, coming up, Johnny Depp! And I read it in your voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ruin things. It's what I do.
You're listening to Fort Fritz on Real Radio 104.1.
Fort Fritz on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. Fritz here with you. So recently, the old mansion, Felix's old haunted house, has come under some remodeling work, let's say, because of a haunted live oak that has decided to wage war with Felix's septic tank. We have been incommunicado, so we've been social distancing here at Fort Fritz. But we will be getting back together next week, and that is good news for everyone else's mental health to get the gang back together, although Angela will probably still be pissed because she's a revenant and she can never die. But let me take this opportunity to thank Pure Maintenance for coming over and doing the demo, family-owned business, Pure Maintenance. They did a hell of a demo job. In fact, one of my friends came over and saw what they did to the master bedroom and said, this is one of the cleanest demo jobs I've ever seen. So that's Pure Maintenance. Thank you very much for getting Felix's mansion back in line. I appreciate it. Speaking of getting things up to snuff, let's check out some moments where we didn't know what was going on. But yeah, we just kept recording anyway. Here's some outtakes from Fort Fritz. Some things don't fly, like inviting your boss, Jack Bradshaw, program director of WTKS Real Radio 104.1, into the voiceover booth to ask if you can have a raise.
Jeff, what are you doing? This is not how this works. Why do you always do this?
Here are some jokes that don't. Enjoy outtakes from the Felix particle.
Secrets are loud.
Loud secrets.
Loud secret.
What's the name of my porno?
I like it.
Loud secrets.
It's controlled. It's on its job. It's not going to just gallop away.
I think it's like
his man
trot,
is there.
cantor, and gallop. I think
How
that's
mad would you be if you're
What's
the
the
guy
fancy horse thing where they fancy horse?
dressage?
Oh, thank you.
Dressage.
Oh, I didn't even know
nice.
that. Man,
Nicely
Daddy,
done.
that is
Points.
delicious.
That is points.
I am from
Dressage.
Longwood.
I always wondered, did they find a fancy horse and the guy was like, I want to have that horse that does that fancy stuff, or did they train the horse to be fancy? And then who decided there would be competitions
Some
in
horses are
fancy
just
horsing?
born with the fancy. I
Okay,
think.
so
You
they
really
were-
thought about this, evidently.
I've watched it and I'm just like, how did this come to be? Like, how did two people get together and be like, my horse is fancier than yours, dog. Check this out. And they're doing their little like feet thing.
You think your horse is fancy? Look
Watch
how
this one.
fancy this is.
My horse can walk sideways. Watch this.
How'd you get your horse to... Never mind!
That's for you to figure out, buddy.
Immediately butt hurt. So, this creature...
Yeah, like marimbas in the background and stuff.
Look,
I don't know why marimbas, but that seems like a Corona commercial.
racist?
Yeah.
Everything I do is racist in your eyes.
If I bring up Coronas and you bring up marimbas, like, first of all, what even is that?
Well, see, how can you tell if it's racist if you don't know what a
Because I
marimba
know what
is?
you're talking about.
It just sounded
sounds
like it.
racist.
It sounded
It's
racist.
a percussion instrument.
Guano is toxic? I
Yeah.
thought it was, like, used as fertilizer.
Oh, it'll get you high. No
bad.
question.
You smoke a bowl of guano?
There's an old song that I have this stupid parody about that none of y'all would get. It's whoa, oh, it's bad. I know some people call it guano, but it's bad. But man, that's just a
Marijuana.
Why is
What?
there a smiley face with, like, a
It just sounds fun. Back bums.
It was B and then apostrophe made the smiley face with the I don't know if you guys are looking on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I see what you're looking at.
The smiley face with the sunglasses
I didn't.
before he burns his stupid ass arm off, and cool guy smiley face before these bat bombs swoop down on
that
us
what-
and engulf us in the
that what-
silliest.
Oh my god!
That's exactly what
Is
it
that
says.
what? Is that how you do smiley face with the
It's
just a B with a
so yeah, I
B
did
with
A apostrophe and then I did B apostrophe, and B apostrophe is apparently
It's not
cool.
showing up like that for me on
I got cool
Facebook.
guy. I got cool guy.
Oh my-
I got my messaging on my text.
That is the
Funny.
best. This is the best outtake ever.
That's ridiculous.
Bat bombs.
Okay.
Okay, so bat bombs swoop down and they golf us.
Apparently, this guy had some personal friendship with the first lady, Eleanor.
Oh.
He knew her somehow, like some
Intrigue.
flight, some
Wow, wow.
pilot thing. Yeah, who knows?
Jesus.
It's
Eleanor.
And
in the
she's got
weird.
needs.
What that means.
I don't know either.
It came out of nowhere.
Does she really like dentists?
I don't know.
She's got needs.
She had a
man.
tooth
I
that
know,
was like
yeah.
bothering her.
Come
and
on,
she
man.
needed to get it out.
It's just odd now. Big babies now. And now you got all back guts all over you. I'm talking about the spaghetti house.
seems creepier than that.
The guy that has this lab might be an actual nut. I can't tell.
Well, a lot of
It
this stuff
could be
looks
him.
broken, or it's not even monitoring anything. Like,
Does he have that weird thing with the two wires where the thing of electricity goes up and goes?
I always thought that was a
ladder
theremin.
thing.
No, that is not a
theremin's
theremin.
musical
No, that's
instrument.
yeah.
It's called a Jacob's ladder.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I thought that's when you have all the piercings.
That's something totally different.
Yeah, that's,
I'll show you that later.
that's
Oh, nice, thank you.
Prince William sound.
Ooh. But this is definitely a bad place. This is definitely a lab. When the acting takes hold, man. I can't help it. I get so into the character.
Damn it, Angela.
Okay. And I want to touch the sheet, and I'm touching the sheet. I'm going to grab the sheet.
Tu amor, yes.
Is that a note?
Maybe you...
Just give me a note.
Penny Mayo. And
Horrible. And as this is the first story we've done in Fort Fritz where I didn't write a story. And I couldn't. And as I was getting into this, all I could think to myself is, what the did I do to piss off Kaz? Because Kaz knows how I feel, and he's like, this is going to up Man
you know
Daddy's
what?
day.
I kind of felt that way about the bat bomb.
Oh, on the bat bombs. I'll take bat bombs all day over the Russian zombie dogs.
I had a quick moment where I was like, all right, cool.
I literally read one sentence of both of these stories, and it was just like, yep, that'll work. I had no idea. That's why it was so cool listening to it. I was like, I had no idea what
I didn't
what they
want to
actually
talk to you for days. I was like, well, all right.
You will hug a bat bomb and take it out to dinner before a Russian zombie dog, okay?
It's moist.
Damn, moist, dank, musty, musty.
Well, I like
moist.
musty, so.
That's something you never want to describe yourself as.
Musty.
Most people know me as being very musty.
Must is the stuff on the outside of the grape, though, right?
Must is the stuff.
Is that
That's right.
must is
Must is the stuff.
man?
Got that right.
Yeah, that's the new motto for Fort Fritz.
Yeah,
Must is the
Must
stuff.
is the stuff.
You're cool as hell, Kaz.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
I'm glad that sealed the deal. Okay.
Swallowing beer to hurt. So
Even.
It should never
Okay. You had Jeff Goldblum at Fringe?
hell yes. No, it was a MegaCon.
Yeah, it was a MegaCon.
Oh.
I paid for it. It just didn't happen upon me.
It was awesome though.
You sought him
I
out.
sought him out.
The
I
photo
want
was
to give
awesome.
money to meet him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I did that thing.
I
It's like you
would've
bought him
too.
a drink, but it was like
Yeah,
$70.
I literally just stood under his armpit and then walked away.
Did he smell good?
He smelled great and he hugged me.
Oh my god.
It's gotta be good.
Which was better, the Momoa hug or the Goldblum hug?
You know, the Goldblum hug was nice and warm, but Momoa
Was dead
actually
to you.
said mahalo to me.
Oh.
He responded with mahalo, and I said mahalo to him. I was like, mahalo. And he was like, mahalo. Then he hugged me.
Picked you up and threw you across the room.
He was
You're
pretty
like,
chill.
"Mahalo!"
Yeah. He was
People you
super
know.
chill.
Miss
It was
Aliens
nice.
is fun.
It was literally 2 seconds. Anyway.
Oh.
So
What are we
similar
talking about?
to the Large Hadron Collider, Jason Momoa, is it the particle smasher? I don't
Dude,
know where
he
we're
could
going.
be.
So yeah, let's just
Oh,
have
Probably created particles. He smashed something so hard.
yeah,
Bam!
yeah, he does.
Damn. Yeah, he does. We hope.
Okay.
And speaking of the Revenant herself, this is Angela talking about how she can never die from Escape from Snake Island Part 2.
Give me reasons we're going back to that island and not to the fort. Just tell me why.
I have one reason, schmutzy. Listen, we got to do. Sun's going down in the west. We got an hour. We got a cat. Let's get on that island. Turn that beat up.
Suddenly of unknown causes, and were buried. However, at sundown, the two men were seen walking through the village, carrying their coffins on their shoulders. No way, they did not. Just wandering around, carrying their coffins as a what? Get buried.
Welcome to this island, loads of the flies and snake egg gathering. A fearless investment stuck with these outlaws. Snake meat stout tough, Sprout's gonna die. Man, Daddy, Fritz, and I gotta make this vessel fly. I was gonna make them pie, but why I know you know I've seen it all, so let it go. Fritz, stay on the f***ing boat. These guys are not my friends, and they will be the end of me until another me comes back and hates them even more. Till I bury them in the floorboards or feed them to my cat. But where have you been, schmutzy, schmutzy, schmutzy? Dear Angela, the better one, or should I say the beta one? I'm the alpha son. You behind me, you can't find me. Empty grave, you can't be saved. When I slay, be here you lay. Replicating, revenant, you just can't understand. Not Leo in the bear, she was killed by a generator, but just regenerator. That bitch of a topa, gravy water gulpa, yellow bellied soldier, oops, mea culpa. Playing was congealing, NFL you're kneeling, begging for the feeling, back in your face from reeling. These guys are not my friends, and they will be the end of me until another me comes back and hates them even more. Till I bury them in the floorboards or feed them to my cat. But where have you been, schmutzy, schmutzy, schmutzy?
You are listening to Fort Fritz right here on Real Radio 104.1.
Fort Fritz on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. This is the very, very last segment where we are rounding up all of the songs from our musical Escape from Snake Island Part 2. Just download that iHeartRadio app and search Fort Fritz. You can also search Fort Fritz Campfire Tales. That will give you little bite-sized nuggets of all of our stories over the past 4 seasons. Here's some more songs from the musical. Enjoy.
Is that why there was like a cool sort of hearth living room set up that I could cuddle with Schmutzy in, and I hadn't really understood why anyone would build that in the heart of a volcano?
Are we going to play music, or are we going to talk about volcano?
Okay, let's jam.
Hey. There you go, perfect.
Please don't let me die here, even though I'll come right back. These guys guys aren't worth dying for. I just came back for my cat. So where the f***'s she at?
Hold on, wait. Listen. It's almost like someone's doing a crappy Ramones-inspired song.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Some things don't fly, like the Philippine flying lemur, or the jet black hair dye on your 89-year-old grandfather. Here are some jokes that don't. Enjoy outtakes from Land of the Lost Cause. Sound of shoveling, grunting, hard gardening.
Hard gardening.
Hard gardening.
It sounds like
I thought you guys would like that.
a fetish or something.
Hard
I'm into
gardening.
hard gardening.
Oh.
Oh, are we like Land of the Lost? Are there gonna be slee stacks and here now?
Ooh, slee sack. Good
Gout.
reference. Good
God.
reference. Yeah.
Inside of the Future Planet.
Do the tigers bathe with you?
Because when they do, that would be so
That would
rad.
be so
Oh
rad.
my
That'd be
God.
so rad. What are you doing? I'm gonna go take a tiger bath right now. What are you doing? I'm taking a tiger bath. I'm more badass than you. Come on.
Selfies for days.
Hashtag
Tiger bath.
They are, these,
No one's beating you on selfie day.
could this be like larvae or snails?
So
Other
it
mammals?
is.
Yeah, snail poop. Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Is it really?
Snail poop. Yes.
You guys lying to me?
I don't know. I
No.
mean,
We
snail,
would never lie about
No.
snail
No,
poop. Okay.
No, I joke about several things.
Have you ever seen a squirrel take a dump?
No.
No.
No, you haven't.
Do they poop?
I'm guessing. Otherwise, they just keep getting bigger,
Do you guys,
which would be awesome.
I think their metabolism is so crazy high they just
don't
burn off
poop.
everything they
There's gotta be
Yeah.
little tiny squirrel poops around.
Yeah.
Like that's a
They
thing.
just do little fear poops. They just this run away.
You never know. Each time they hop.
Like you think it's a
Fear
seed, but it's like just
This is pollen.
Fear poops.
Fear
Good
poops.
band name.
and pollen's just like squirrel farts, just in the air.
Yep.
Just
Them
all over the
screaming.
place.
Do you guys squirrel
Yeah.
scream?
yeah,
They're just
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Rub two nickels together.
Is that a thing? They'll make them go
That's
away?
like a squirrel call. They'll respond to that. It's the weirdest
Oh,
thing.
I
Squirrels
don't want to do
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
that's it right there.
I want them to go away.
Yeah.
I want them to die.
No,
I mean,
squirrels are
diet-
adorable.
I talked about this the other day. If they had the gross rat style tail, would
Yeah.
you?
No, that's the big difference. That's why rats
fluffy
hate
tail.
squirrels. It's the fluffy tail. That's all it is.
So if they were like gross whip-like fleshy tails, you would
Drama rats.
Yeah.
drama rats. It's just being so extra. Which
Undercooked pork. That just that phrase just hits
so
you
you know
wrong.
what? Alton Brown, God bless his heart. I look up everything I cook. I look up Alton Brown's version first, just
He's
to
your-
get a baseline.
He's your muse.
He's my muse. I watched him do one of those thick cut like pork chops. You know what I mean? Like the ones that are like 2 or 3 inches like thick or whatever. So he was basically like, "Hey, look, cook it medium. You know what I mean? Leave it a little pink in the middle." I'm like, "Fuck, dude, Alton Brown, I respected you. Pink pork. Like if somebody serves me a piece of pork and it's not all the way like cooked all the way through, I'm like, I don't even care if you're Alton Brown. I don't give a shit. Like
That's a culture thing, though, right? I mean, I don't even eat
Maybe.
pork, and I know that. Like, if you're in Morocco and they do that, you're gonna say send it back? No,
I'm
you're
just-
gonna eat the thing.
I'm just not gonna eat. No, I'm not gonna eat fucking raw pork.
You
Eat
guys are
some raw,
losers.
add some pork sashimi,
You guys are
dude.
losers. You're all losers.
Pork sashimi, chicken sashimi. It's all
No,
good.
get out of my face.
Hell no.
Steak tartare sashimi.
I might do steak tartare.
Oh, steak tartare is amazing.
Yeah.
I might do steak tartare, and I've never had enough.
No, I would never ever eat steak tartare. What,
It depends
you guys, cucks.
This is a super family of wasps that contains between 40 and 100,000 different species. Take that, pretzels.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
What did you mean to
What do you
happen?
want to happen with that?
On the carpet.
That was one of the most violent pretzel dismissals that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like you pretzels.
You know
I didn't mean
what?
that. I didn't mean that.
I just decided I don't like pretzels anymore.
Throw these across the room with all violence.
All right.
Anyway, I'm not lonely. I'm not lonely.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You are lonely,
Not lonely.
just like me.
Well, if I'm lonely and you're lonely, then maybe I should sing. Loneliness, a feeling I keep to myself.
real emotions. I don't care about volcanoes. I don't care about snakes anymore, even though they seem like delicious. And I will still get off this island in some way. I mean, I totally care about switching, right? Just get the cat, and let's get on the boat. Let's just get on the boat. I mean, I love you guys, and I have to actually say it. I love you guys. We are so cursed and happy. We are so cursed and happy. We are so cursed and happy.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Oh, damn it. I was riffing there.
You just cut it right.
Wrap it up like a burrito we're about to eat.
Like a chicken.
Keep listening. That's the end of Fort Fritz season whatever. Keep listening. The new ones are coming up soon.
A special thanks to Arnold Thickett. He is retired and he gave us his time to record some piano for our compositions. Free of charge, by the way. So thanks, Arnold. We appreciate it.
Bungalower and the Bus is up next. Listen for that keyword. Your shot at $1,000, just a couple of seconds away. Until next time, be safe and stay spooky, friends.